battle of the century of the two most whitest men ever over a kitchen. Nixon and Khrushchev. Fight, I guess.
I want to show you this kitchen. It's like those of our houses in California.
We have such things.
This is our newest model. This is the kind which is built in thousands of units for direct installations in houses. In America, we like to make life easier for women.
Your capitalistic attitude towards women does not occur under communism.
I think that this attitude towards women is universal. What we want to do is make life more easier for our housewives. This house can be bought for $14,000, and most Americans, veterans from World War II, can buy a home in the bracket of $10,000 to $15,000. Let me give you an example that you can appreciate. Our steel workers, as you know, are now on strike. But any steel worker could buy this house. They earn $3 an hour. This house costs $100 a month to buy a contract running 25 to 35 years.
We have steel workers and peasants who can afford to spend $14,000 for a house. Your American houses are built to last only 20 years, so builders can sell them at the end. We build firmly. We build for our children and our grandchildren.
American houses last for more than 20 years, but even so, after 20 years, many Americans want a new house or a new kitchen. Their kitchen is obsolete by that time. The American system is designed to take advantage of new inventions and new techniques.
This theory does not hold water. Some things never get out of date. Houses, for instance, and furniture. Furnishings, perhaps, but not houses. I have read much about America and American houses. I do not think that this is exhibit and what you say is strictly accurate.
Well,
I hope I have not insulted you.
I have been insulted by experts. Everything we say, on the other hand, is in good humor. Always speak frankly.
The Americans have created their own image of Soviet man, but he is not as you think. You think Russian people will be dumbfounded to see these things, but the fact is that newly built Russian houses have all of this equipment right now.
Yes, but
In Russia, all you have to do to get a house is to be born in the Soviet Union. You are entitled to housing. In America, if you do not have a dollar, you have the right to choose between sleeping in a house or on the pavement. Yet, you say, we are slaves to communism.
I appreciate you're very articulate and energetic.
Energetic is not the same as wise.
If you were in the Senate, we would call you a, filibusterer. You, Khrushchev, interrupt. Do all the talking and don't let anyone else talk. This exhibit was not designed to astound, but to interest. Diversity, the right to choose, the fact that we have 1,000 builders building 1,000 different houses is the most important thing. We don't have one decision made at the top of one governmental official. This is the difference.
On politics, we never agree with you. For instance, Mikoyan likes very peppery soup. I do not. But this does not mean that we do not get along.
You can learn from us, and we can learn from you. There must be a free exchange. Let the people choose the kind of house, the kind of soup, the kind of ideas they want.
Translation is lost as both men enter the recording studio.
You look angry. As if you want to fight me. Are you still angry?
That's right.
And Nixon was once a lawyer. Now he's nervous.
Oh yes, ha 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 ha. He still is.
A lawyer.
Other Russian speaker. Tell us please what your general impressions are of the exhibit.
It's clear to me that the construction worker didn't manage to finish their work, and the exhibit still is not put in order. This is what America is capable of. And how long has she existed? 300 years? 150 years of independence? And this is her level? We haven't reached quite 42 years, and in another 7, we will be at the level of America. And after that, we'll go farther. As we pass by you, we'll wave hi to you, and then it will want, and we'll stop and say, please come along beside us. If you want to live under capitalism, go ahead. That's your question. An internal matter, it doesn't concern me. We all feel sorry for you, but really, you don't understand. We've always seen how you understand things.
Other U.S. speaker. Mr. Vice President, from what you've seen of our exhibition, how do you think it's going to impress the people of the Soviet Union?
It's a very effective exhibit, and it's one that will cause a great deal of interest. I might say that this morning very early in the morning, went down to visit a market where the farmers from various outskirts of the city bring in their items to sell. I can only say that there was a great deal of interest among these people who were workers and farmers, etc. I would imagine that the exhibition from this standpoint would therefore be a considerable success. As far as Mr. Khrushchev's comments just now, there are in the tradition we learned to expect from him of speaking extemporaneously, and frankly, whenever he has an opportunity. I can only say that if this competition, which you have described so effectively, in which you plan to outstrip us, particularly in the production of consumer goods, if this competition is to do the best for both of our peoples and for people everywhere, there must be a free exchange of ideas. There are some instances where you may be ahead of us. For example, in the development of the thrust of your rockets for the investigation of outer space. There are some instances. For example, color television, we're ahead of you. But in order for both of us to benefit,
No. In rockets, we've passed by you. And in technology,
you see, you never concede anything.
we always knew that America was smart people. Stupid people could not have risen to economic level that they've reached. But as you know, we don't beat flies with our nostrils. In 42 years, we've made progress.
You must not be afraid of ideas. Period.
We're saying it is you that must not be afraid of ideas. We're not afraid of anything.
Well then, let's have more exchange on them. We can agree on that, right?
Good. Now what did I agree on?
Now, let's go look at our pictures.
Yes, I agree. But first, I want to clarify what I'm agreeing on. Don't I have the right? I know that I'm dealing with a very good lawyer. Therefore, I want to be unwavering in my miner's grit. My miners will say, he's ours, and he doesn't give in.
No question about that.
You're a lawyer of capitalism. I'm a lawyer of communism. Let's kiss.
All that I can say from the way you talk and the way you dominate the conversation, you would have made a good lawyer yourself. What I mean is this: Here you can see the type of tape which will transmit the very conversation immediately. And this indicates that the possibilities of increasing communication. And this increase in communication will teach us some things and you some things too. Because after all, you don't know everything. Period.
If I don't know everything, then you know absolutely nothing about communism, except for fear. But now the dispute will be on an unequal basis. The apparatus is yours, and you speak English, while I speak Russian. Your words are taped and will be shown and heard. What I say to you about science won't be translated, and so your people won't hear it. There aren't equal conditions.
There isn't a day that goes by in the United States when we can't read everything that you say in the Soviet Union. And I can assure you, never make a statement here that you don't think we read in the United States.
If that's the way it is, I'm holding you to it. Give me your word. I want you, the Vice President, to give me your word that my speech will be taped in English. Will it be?
Certainly it will be. And by the same token, everything that I say will be recorded and translated and will be carried all over the Soviet Union. That's a fair bargain.